Hey guys, how you guys doing? So earlier today, I mentioned that I'll be doing a video about some questions as to how to help get my children to be a little more organized. So I actually have a really awesome done for you PDF that's going to help you kind of have some guidelines to help your kids become a little bit more organized in some of the things that they do. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually share some of this PDF today. We're going to go over the first 4 steps to help organize your kids. And then again, if you have any questions, any comments, please just put them in the comments section. Maybe give some thumbs ups in the comments section. And if you're interested in this PDF, just please ask how to organize my kid, and we'll definitely make sure we get you a copy of this awesome PDF that we're going to go through right now. So as I said, we're going to go through the first 4 steps of how to organize, help your child become more organized. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys. All right, so as you can see, steps of getting and staying organized. This is simple steps that we can follow as adults as well, but this is something I want to share with you guys that you can kind of help with your kids too. So being organized is a skill that can quickly become a permanent part of a child's life, but learning the skill requires a structure, focus, timing, and consistency. Here's a look at some of the simple steps to follow on your way to getting and keeping your child a little more organized. So the first we're going to look at here, guys, the very first one is going to be break down the tasks. So sometimes when we give kids tasks and things that we want them to do, it becomes very overwhelming, right? Have you ever told your child to clean the room when they know that the room is a total disaster and a total mess? And the first of their things is like, oh my God, I got so much to clean. One of the things we want to do is we want to take that same method and task that we want them to complete. We want to break it down into baby steps. So again, what we're going to look at is we're going to want to break it down to maybe starting with just picking up their clothes. They start with picking up their clothes first, and then as they pick up all their clothes, put the clothes where they have to go, whether it be in a dirty hamper or fold and put them away. Now they see that it's already become a little bit more cleaner. Then we go to having them pick up their toys. Right? After they pick up the toys, but the toys where they're supposed to go. And then we look at the bed. Can we get the bed kind of made and be a little more situated as to what we want it to be? So that's a great way to start with how to break down tasks for kids when you want to do something. So sometimes if you give them a task and in their mind they think that it's overwhelming and too hard to get done, it's going to be a fight. All right. So what we want to do is we want to break the task down into baby steps, into little increments, little micro spots to help them gain that confidence and that they can do it, and then they'll start getting it done. All right. The next thing you'll want to do is you want to make a to-do list. All right, what are the things that you want them to do? Again, the structure we talk about, and then what our expectations are from them is really important, right? So you want to set up a to-do list. So if they have a certain thing at home where they are to, 1, put your shoes where your shoes belong. 2, make sure you put your backpack where your backpack is supposed to go. 3, make sure your room is clean. 4, make sure you clean up in the bathroom. I mean, the bathroom sometimes can be a challenge too, with toothpaste and things like that. Make sure they clean up the bathroom after themselves. So you make a list of things that you want them to try to do every day, and that would definitely help them stay on task of what you want them to accomplish. Again, let them cross things off the list that you want them to do, and it gives a sense of accomplishment for them too. So again, giving them tasks that you want them to complete and making a list of it. All right. Number 3 we're going to talk about is routines. Again, when we start having routines, whether it be cleaning our room and a certain routine of how we do that, where we put our shoes when we walk in the door, certain routine of that. Anything you want to help your kids be more consistent at, you got to build it into a routine of what they do. And some of that comes with what your expectations are from them. Sometimes I know as a parent myself, sometimes, we have a certain place that our shoes go. Sometimes my son will come in, he'll put his shoes not quite in the place where they're supposed to be. So he has to come and put his shoes where they belong. So it becomes a habit and a routine that he's used to doing. So when he comes in, he knows his shoes go in a certain area. That's where his shoes go. And that helps us kind of keep our shoe area in task. But that's just a small part. His room is set up in a certain way that he has to take care of his room when it's time for bed and things like that. What he's got to do before he's going to bed, when he wakes up in the morning, his tasks he has to do before he starts his day. These are all routines that help build and are built within his day to help him be consistent, and it helps him be structured along the way. All right, so routines are so important, guys. You just want to make sure you do that. Kids will always welcome routines as a part of their daily lives, but it takes consistency. As I just said, parents need to monitor their children and keep them on a regular routine. For example, after school time can be allotted for a certain amount of activities of free time. Again, what do you allow your kids to do after school when they're coming home? What kind of routine do they have when they get off the bus? And I know school will be starting up soon, but now we're in the summertime. What are some things we're kind of building in their routines to prepare them for when school starts? Because we're only looking at about 4 weeks before they're right back in school, 4 or 5 weeks. All right, and then the very last one is to write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Teaching them to write down what it is that they have to do, right? So if they write it down, they see it, they know it has to be done. We actually have a little whiteboard in our house, and we just write down, things that we want to make sure that they're able to get done, or what we want Joe to do. So if it's something outside of what his normal routine is, or that's not on his regular to-do list, we'll put it on the board, and then he'll know to look at that board to make sure that he's getting it done. Again, these are the first 4 parts that we're going to cover this week, guys. Next week, we're going to cover the next 4, 5 through 8. This was just 1 through 4. So let's kind of do a quick little recap for you. One of the first things we want to focus on is trying to break down the tasks that we want our kids to accomplish and what we want them to do. That's really important, so they can, it doesn't seem so overwhelming when we ask them to do ideally what it is they're supposed to do. So if they're supposed to clean the room, we can break it down for them into tasks that makes it a little bit simpler for them to get done. It helps, whether it's schoolwork, whether it's reading, whether it's doing chores at home, listening to you, reading a book, things like that. Just breaking it down to baby steps for them, and micro steps will help still get them to where you want them to be. Number 2, a to-do list. What are the things that you want them to do? Write it down so they can see it, and then make sure they're checking it off what they got done during that time. Number 3, routines. Again, routine is a consistency, right? The more consistent they are within a certain routine, the better they're going to get at it, the more organized they will stay. That's one thing we definitely want to try to focus on, is keep them in a routine, in a habit of completing the task and what it is that they're supposed to do during certain parts of their days. And then the last one that we covered today, guys, was writing it down. Want to make sure I write down what is it they're going to be doing, and have them write it down too. So when they put it in their own writing, that kind of helps them make that commitment to it as well. So we want to make sure that's happening with them too. Timelines could also be included into when they're writing down, I want to get this done in a certain amount of time, and then it takes away some of that dead space and dead time that they want to fill with other things. So this is a great opportunity for you guys. If you are interested in this PDF that I have, it's an 8-week PDF. Next week we're going to go over the other part. Please just comment in the comment section here. Help organize my child, or something like that, organize my kid, and then I'll make sure we get that PDF to you. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments section. I would love to be able to go back and forth with you on this. And if there's anything else you need from me on this topic, please let me know. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I will look forward to seeing you all next week. Have a great night, and I'll see you all soon. Bye now.